Urban Therapy with Sun752, and this is your daily go-getterism number 613 for June 7th, 2016. Tonight I want to talk to y'all about people who just love the drama. They want to act like they don't love the drama. They want to act like they're not part of the drama. But yeah, they love the drama, and that's all they really love. It's kind of a pain in the ass to people who love peace. People who really are about harmony. People who are about unity, unifying, bringing people together, trying to get rid of all of the snakes and the rats and the roaches and all of the messiness and all of the ratchetness and, you know, all of the gossip and all of the bad feelings, the backbiting, the talking behind people's backs, smiling in their face and all of that kind of stuff. Some people really like the drama though. You'd be hard pressed to find people who will admit to liking the drama, because they know that to wear that label makes you a certain kind of person, and that's not an attractive label to wear. However, there are a lot of people who don't wear it necessarily, but they wear it in real life. You know, they may not wear it theoretically, but in actuality, they wear it. So you see how somehow their name comes up in all kinds of messy situations. Every time somebody is doing something they ain't got no business doing, telling something that they ain't got no business telling, being some kind of way they ain't got no business being, then you see these people. They pop up, they crop up. You know what I mean? Who's zooming who? Another word I learned recently, some Memphis tea. The tea is the gossip. It's the messiness. It's the old, you know, who's cheating on who's doing who's husband, who's biting somebody's back out. That's the tea. The gossip part of that. That's the reporting. You know, I learned that the hard way recently. It's on some bullshit anyway. But yeah, you know, I always figure, and evidently I'm not right about this, because if I was right about this, then I would probably see more evidence of it. But I always feel like you should stand by whatever it is that you do. So if you're a rat, be a rat. Be the best rat possible. You know, represent, you know, the rat in you. Represent for all the rats and the mice out there. That's what you do. But that's not the way it goes, because just like I said, people don't want to wear that type of label. They don't want to be looked at as the type of person that is that way, because nobody would trust them. You know, if you went out there and you admitted that you really like the drama, you like that adrenaline, you like that having to dig yourself out of a hole, you like playing this one against that one, you like being the one in the background pulling up a chair. You hear that bullshit on social media all the time. Ooh, I'm just here to look at to read the comments. So they like to see people going back and forth bickering. They like to see arguments and all of that. They're not there to see people work out their differences. They're not there to see people, you know, be rational and deal with each other in a cordial type of manner, or even if things get heated. They're not used to seeing. They don't really want to see people, you know, somehow read what each other have written and work things out amongst each other. They don't want to see that. They're not interested in that part of life. They want to see people go at it. They want to see long-standing beefs. They want to see people taking sides on a negative issue. They want to see that. They want to see people acting out of character, and they want to see things escalate. The worst part about all of this with these people who are part of this kind of thing, these messy folks, is that although they like to see the drama, they're also non-confrontational. So when their name comes up in the conversation and they get confronted about that, like, yo, I heard that you out here, you saying these things about this person, you saying these things about that person, you know, what part of the game is that? Then they want to start backpedaling. They want to start explaining. They want to start disassociating themselves from things. They want to start saying that they're neutral, that they ain't had nothing to do with it. They wasn't there. They was only talking about what they heard, and they don't want to say the names of of the person that they heard it from, because they don't want to get into all of that. But they put themselves in that position. You put yourself in a position to be confronted, and then you get confronted, but now you acting like a little bitch. And that's whether it's online, that's whether it's on the telephone, that's whether it's face to face. How many more videos are we going to see of people getting confronted about things that they wrote online, did to people and all that kind of stuff, and then that goes online, these fights, people being stomped out, having their weaves pulled out of their head, getting beat up on camera and all of that, people yelling World Star and all of that. Well, those are the consequences of the messiness. Those are the consequences of the drama. And that's what people don't really understand. They don't understand how the whole thing has to come to a head. People get murdered over this kind of stuff, man. They get murdered. I mean, how can you reconcile that in your mind, and you are fostering that type of activity, that type of behavior? Man, people gotta check themselves, man. They really do. They have to check themselves. They gotta do better. And it happens on a daily basis. People involved in the ratchetness, people involved in the drama, people involved in the messiness, but they don't really want to reap the consequences of their actions. They don't want to do all of that, because that's the hard part, and that's the part that sticks, and that's the part that has people talking about you for a long time, and that's the part that keeps people from messing around with you, and have you being ostracized from certain groups and all of that. So they don't want no part of that, and I can't blame them. But what they need to stop is what they need to do is stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. We grown men and women out here, and it's time that we start growing up and acting like it, instead of playing the roles of children. You know what I'm saying? You have adults imitating children. It used to be the other way around. You had children imitating adults. Now you have a lot of adults imitating children. Think about it. I'm talking about, when I say children, I mean immature behavior. I mean irresponsible behavior. I mean behavior that people who are ill-informed, misinformed. You know how children don't know stuff. They think that they know, so they just mimic adults. They mimic the results of what they see adults do, but they haven't lived that life. It's like trying to do algebra when you haven't mastered general math. If you can't add, subtract, multiply, and divide, you can't do algebra. You can't do it. And if you can't do algebra and calculus, if you can't do algebra and geometry, you can't do calculus and trigonometry. It won't work. One thing leads to another. So if you already at the top, you can't go back to acting like a child, because that's like going back to acting like you don't know when you really do know. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and leave the ratchetness alone. If you like the drama, represent the drama, but just understand that you're going to have to deal with the consequences of what the drama brings, because that's what the real drama is all about. So if you're the type to work that out, then work it out. If you can deal with that heat, then deal with it. But if you can't deal with the heat, you need to find another profession. You need to find another hobby. You need to find something better to do. Read some books. Maybe you could read some books on how to be secretly ratchet and drama filled. Tomorrow night is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. It's gonna be hot too. We talking about making them soft, turning her loose. So we're gonna ask the questions about whether parents are responsible for making their little boys into punks. Not necessarily gay or whatever, but maybe even a little bit of that. And I don't mean that you can turn somebody gay. I mean that you can make them timid and soft and punk-like. You know what I'm saying? Non-confrontational. No, I shouldn't say non-confrontational. What I mean is, y'all kind of understand what I'm trying to say. Like, when you have a little boy, a young man or whatever, that won't stand up for himself or whatever, maybe because he's spoiled, maybe because he hasn't been taught to defend himself or whatever the case may be, our parents are responsible for that. And on the female side, if she becomes loose, if she starts dressing all provocative and acting too sexy too soon, and maybe even becoming promiscuous, have our parenting skills fallen down on the job? Are we the ones to blame for that? And we're not just going to talk about soft boys and promiscuous girls, but we're going to talk about, you know, the hard girls too. You know, all these girls out here acting like boys. Are we responsible for that? Have we laid the foundation for our children to have identity problems? That's what we're talking about tomorrow on the Urban Therapy with Sun Show tonight. Well, tomorrow night, Wednesday, the 8th. So make sure y'all come through, because that thing going to be on fire. Fire, I tell you. We ain't playing. I'll holler at y'all later, man. Y'all have a good night. Real good, you know what I'm saying?